If you practice business law in Boston, I want you to hear this number before anything else I say. Two firms, Ropes and Gray and Goodwin Proctor, they showed up in about half of every business law answer an AI tool gave us when we were doing searches in Boston. You can put Foley in there as well, and they came up probably about 2 out of every 3 answers total, in a city with hundreds of firms doing this kind of work. I pulled the data myself, and after looking at 2,661 real answers across Boston and the wider New England market, basically just running the same questions through ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, and Claude, business law just came back as the tightest lock that we found anywhere in this whole giant study we did of 15 markets. And it's not just business law either. Medical malpractice runs almost as narrow. You've got Lubin and Meyer, you got Breakstone. They own most of it. Real estate, you've got Goodwin in there, and you still have Ropes and Gray again. Personal injury, it's going to kind of circle around Breakstone, White, and Gluck. You've got Sweeney in there, and then Lubin and Meyer. But across every category, we checked that the top 3 firms average about 37% of all mentions. But it's not locked everywhere. Bankruptcy, class action, AI's naming about 80 to 100 different law firms in Boston and never settling on a favorite. So here's the thing about Boston that's actually different from every other city we studied. When Perplexity backed up an answer with the source, 80% of the time, it pointed at the law firm's actual website, not just a directory. That is higher than almost anywhere else we looked. So in a lot of cities, your homepage barely matters to AI. In Boston, it matters a lot. Right alongside Super Lawyers, which had about 16% of citations, and Justia, which was right behind them about at 14. So if you're not showing up in these AI answers, the question is, which Boston law firm actually is? Because if you're fighting for business law, malpractice, real estate, you're up against firms that have spent years building this kind of authority, and that's going to be a real fight. There's not a quick fix for it. But if you're in one of the wide open categories and practice areas, you've got room to move fast because nobody's claimed the top spot yet. So either way, start here. Boston reads real websites more than most cities. So just stop writing generic practice area pages. Say exactly what you handle and where in plain language. Get your Super Lawyers and Justia profiles finished and make sure they're current. And then run the test that we did through the 4 AI tools yourself before you assume anything, because they only agree with each other about 5% of the time in Boston. Just remember, tonight, someone at a biotech company in Boston is going to ask one of these AI tools who the best lawyer in Boston is. 2 names are probably going to come up. And the only real question is what it takes to become the third.